So the standard time for question and answers at most of the events I'm going to at the moment is 5 minutes at the end of a session. What do we think of that? Well, I'll tell you what I think of it. Not enough. It just does not cut the mustard in terms of audience engagement. Why? It's such a tight time limit. So it means that only a really limited number of participants are going to be actively able to engage at this point. So therefore, valuable perspectives and people's inquiries are going to be missed. Some attendees are going to feel left out. And let's be honest, time constraints are going to limit the depth of discussion and the way you can explore a topic, aren't they? So you're just not doing justice to the audience engagement, which we all know is so important for an event. We want everybody at an event to have a good experience, right? But in this traditional Q&A session, only a few lucky individuals are going to get the chance to ask questions. People who are less assertive or maybe more introverted might hesitate to speak up. And that means we're missing out on a really comprehensive representation of the audience interests and concerns. It's just a missed opportunity to tap into the collective wisdom and the insights of the entire people or the entire audience. It's going to limit the depth of discussion, isn't it? As we've said, and that doesn't do justice either. So how are we going to boost audience inclusion and engagement in business event sessions without doubling up on the time that is spent in all these sessions? So I think things like interactive workshops, that's my first idea. They allow participants to really collaborate and problem solve and do stuff, hands-on. If you include, group discussions, breakout sessions and interactive exercises, then the attendees turn from passive listeners into really active contributors. So the engagement piece, just brilliant. Secondly, we've got really good technology platforms, event apps, audience response systems that we use now. And these tools really democratize the participation because they allow everybody to ask questions digitally. Everyone is therefore getting an equal opportunity to contribute. And features like live polling, the real-time feedback that you get gives you great insight into the events and improves engagement. You can see if people aren't engaging and you can think about other ways to bring them in. If you also think about changing up the way you do the standard panel discussion. Now, the standard panel discussion, isn't it? It's a platform of, multiple experts sitting on the stage or sitting in the virtual room. And they're hopefully going to represent a lot of the different kind of people that will be at your event. And they share their insights, which encourages a wider range of perspectives. But does it? Because I think if you want to make the panel really representative, you need to make sure that your audience is on the panel. That means their questions and their opinions need to be involved from the beginning of the session. And you can do that if you're short of time via digital methods that we've talked about. And you can make sure that you're crediting the individuals in the audience and you're adding their voice to the debate. But even if you don't do that, just doing word clouds of the things they want to talk about and polls and streaming the comments that they might be putting on their mobile phones up on a big screen whilst you're talking can also work. Really helps people feel heard, that their voice is being listened to, and they then feel included and are more engaged. So my fourth idea here, what about these interactive workshops that could happen straight after the session? So the participants could be listening to something to a speaker and then go off together, collaborate, problem solve and engage in hands-on activities based on what they have just been listening to. So if you do that, you're going to be, as I say, transforming them into this active contribution or active contributors. So I think while the short Q&A sessions has been a go-to format for business events for a while, we need to recognise how limited they are and explore some of these alternative approaches like the ones I've mentioned to improve audience engagement and audience inclusion. Any more ideas? Love to hear them. Please share below. Let's empower every attendee to get their voice heard at events.